Hey everyone, it's your New Dawn Realty team here. We have Donna, Denise, and Brian with us today. The gang is finally back together.
Woo!
I feel like
we all miss you guys.
I know.
Right? You
It's
were
been
in
a
Lake
while.
Powell, and you were out showing property. And so last week it was just Janessa and I felt so like alone without my team. So it's good to be back.
Wow, yeah.
And we were just saying how Brian is like our Fabio today because he's got the blue mask and his eyes just are popping today. Can you all see that? So welcome. We're so glad to be back. And thank you for all your comments and tuning in and all that you do and supporting us. We love getting the message out and sharing with you. So thanks for always joining us on Wednesdays. And we've got a lot of, like today's kind of hodgepodgey. We're excited about that because we've been jumping all over with different info and what have you. And so we were just going to start with kind of the what's going on in the marketplace and what we're seeing. And my beef is appraisers are driving me crazy right now. I've got a transaction where the appraisal was done 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden we were supposed to have it last week, and the appraiser went dark. No response, no email, and finally, and we're closing tomorrow, and finally we got an email, or the lender did, at 3:45 yesterday saying, oh, sorry, I had a migraine for 2 days. Here's your appraisal. No, I'm actually pretty calm when I do a deal, but I am usually not like that. But what I want to get at is at New Dawn Realty, we are all experienced agents. We've got a fabulous lender, and this doesn't happen when I work with you.
I hope not. That's what we're supposed to mitigate.
But I was on the seller side, so this was quite frustrating. And so what I want to say is at New Dawn Realty, we figure out ways to get this done. And so we had discussions among the buyer's agent and myself and like, okay, what can we do? Can we order a rush appraisal quick, get that turned around and delay closing a couple of days? Because we didn't know where this appraiser was. We didn't know, if they're in a hospital bed or, they just went dark. So anyways, we got it figured out. We got the appraisal in 2 weeks later, and we are closing tomorrow, but that's why it's so important. Yay, right? That deserves a yay. But that's why you deserve somebody who is very experienced and knows how to handle these things behind the scenes. We try not to bring you in as buyers and sellers to these discussions so your level is stress-free, but sometimes we have to, especially if something's going to be delayed. And so, all right, we're closing it, so that's the good news on it, right? And you've had some things with appraisers, too, on one of your listings.
Yeah, I had to reach out several times, and finally it's been ordered. Actually, when I contacted the VA loan officer, they told me that it just slipped under the radar. They just got it on their books. So,
wow.
Yep, you got us on the back.
Yes, and you were all over it. You were like, where's the appraisal?
Yeah.
Where's the appraisal? Has it been scheduled? So
Yeah.
we are there fighting for you. What are you seeing on the home front with appraisers, Brian?
They're taking way too long, sometimes not replying as fast as you would like. One of the caveats that I think is important for people to understand is we as originators or lenders on the front side, we are not allowed to even speak to an appraiser.
Right.
So the government put these AMCs, which is an appraisal management company, in place. That's that third-party intermediary in between the appraiser and the lender, and then bring them together to get those orders done. So when everything has to go through the AMC, they just keep rotating through a pool of appraisers until somebody finally agrees to the order. The other thing too is once they agree to the order, that's when we also see how much they're even going to charge for it. So we can put an estimate in there, but we don't even know going in what they're really going to charge to get the report back to us, and then also tell us when they're going to, what date they're going to do it too. So even though we may send them the contract, sometimes they don't even follow the dates and deadlines that are in the contract, and then we have to work with them around that as well. So it's added so many extra layers and steps to the process when it could be so much easier. But unfortunately, these are the rules that we are all playing by now and doing the best that we can to meet those dates and deadlines that are in the contract. But it, like you said, it helps to have people that can be nimble and adapt and navigate through those those buoys and processes that we have.
I sold something in Vail and the appraisal was $1,200.
Yep.
I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So, yes. So we're here and
Jeez, that's
we
crazy.
gotcha with all of that. And then you've got some things on stats, right, Janessa?
Yeah. So, what it really comes down to is we need more listings. Now is the time to sell your house. It's still a super strong, hot market. If you've been thinking about selling, now is the time. So let's see, 2 weeks ago, our active listings were 9,370. This week, today, our active listings are 9,009. So our inventory is
goodness,
going
low.
down. So just know that if you're going to sell, now's the time. And, I mean, it'll go quick, usually with multiple offers. So, we're there advocating for you, negotiating for you. So to make sure that you get the best deal. As far as buyers go, money is so cheap right now. So it's also an excellent time for buyers. And, let's put you guys together. Let's put our listings and our buyers together, and we'll, make sure that everybody is getting the best out of the deal that they can. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on in the market. Still a hot market, but we definitely want to build our inventory. It's better, we're in a good spot.
We are in a good spot. Yeah,
So-
it's better than having all this flood of listings on the
Yeah,
market
exactly,
and
and
not being able
no
to
buyers.
sell.
So,
And that's what we did this morning at our office meeting at Metro Brokers Elite. Is we networked and what do we got and what kind of buyers we have and what needs do they have and who's got stuff in the pipeline. And so we're always working for you. That's probably your appraiser calling. Sorry, I didn't mute my phone.
slow dance
Oh,
music.
yes, it's angelic. So you'll get to hear my phone ringing. So tell us about rates, and then you had some interesting stats today at our meeting too about the meeting
Yeah.
with what is it, Apple and Facebook and
Yeah, I'll touch on that. This was one of the biggest things I thought, because since we're talking about rates, let's kind of stick with that. As far as how everybody gets confused when they say, oh, the Fed is lowering interest rates. Well, that's not a direct correlation with mortgage rates. It's more tied to short-term interest rates, which is the way that banks exchange money amongst each other. So people that have HELOCs, things like that, that's what it has a direct effect to. But it does kind of keep in line with what's going to happen probably in the mortgage-backed security market.
Mhm.
But the Fed announced that they're not going to change rates at least until 2022.
that's crazy.
Wow.
So
That is so crazy.
that
I
means
know.
things are probably going to remain pretty static and
Yeah.
unchanged.
Jeez.
This could be for quite some time, which could be phenomenal for a lot of people to jump into this market. And when we're talking about jumping into the market, purchase applications are down a little bit, 2% from year to year. So at this time last year to now, they're down. But they're still 21% higher from where we were last month. So
Wow.
people are filling out more applications
Mhm.
for purchases, which is good. The pending home sales, since we were talking about listings,
Yeah.
pending home sales are up 16.6% in June. But here's what's really crazy. In May, obviously, you guys must have had a lot more listings, because in May, they were up 44.3%.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
But overall, we're up 6.3% from this time last year. And I really like this stat too, that home ownership is right now at a 12-year high. So, of the total population, 67.9% of the population owns a home.
That deserves an applause.
Yeah.
That's
Good job, guys.
That's
That's right. Good job. You're building equity. You're going
So
for
that's
it.
good. We were talking, and numbers-wise, when we're talking about these CEOs. So right now, in front of Congress, in front of the House, you've got the CEO of Facebook, Google,
Amazon.
Amazon, and there's one more. Facebook, Google, and Apple.
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 That's right.
The big
Anyway,
ones.
they're up there, and they're talking about, things like what kind of labor, like Apple's using, which if they're using labor over in China for some of this stuff, inexpensive labor, that's they're saying that could be an issue. They're talking about Amazon needing to be broken up because they're such a huge conglomerate. And then, of course, Facebook and Google and some of their suppression of the First Amendment and what you can or can't say and how some of it gets turned off. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that's being talked about. But what's crazy is those four companies account for a value of $5 trillion,
Holy smokes! Wow.
which would be the 4th largest GDP in the
Wow.
world.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
the United States and China would be a little bit larger than that, but that's crazy to think
Jeez.
that those 4 companies
Yeah.
can account for that kind of value. So hopefully hopefully those guys back in Washington will do their job and take care of some business.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening. A
Yes,
lot of things
there
not
is.
changing, a lot of things changing. It's gonna.
And rates are holding, so
Yeah,
that's
Rates are holding.
So those aren't changing, which
Yeah.
is great right now.
Yeah.
Inexpensive money. Everything's kind of hanging out in the twos, so that's fantastic.
See,
Yeah.
I told you we're going to be all over the board. Appraisals
Yeah.
and GDPs and rates and so, but all really good info and fun. And do you want to do your quote?
Sure. I can't remember who it's by, so we're going to say unknown. But if you change the way you look at things, wait a minute. If you change the way that you look at things, things will change.
Yes, I love that.
Very true.
All about perception and really seeing things. We're in crazy times where, it's all about opinions. And so go out there and love one another and listen to one another. Just because you listen doesn't mean you agree. And love on one another. And we can make a difference out there. So we do have some really exciting news next Wednesday. So we're going to
Tune
leave you with that
in.
little
Teaser.
thing. Janessa's not going to be here because she's going to be taking a little break on vacation.
Yes.
So Denise and I will have to break the news, give you guys a little teaser to come hang with us
Yeah.
next Wednesday. And then the following Wednesday, we've got another breaking news. Ooh, I like when the news does breaking news and then it's like nothing. But this is good stuff, so tune in with us. And anything else?
We'll do our drawing in 2 weeks too.
Oh, yes,
You have an
that's right.
extra week to enter.
Yes,
'Cause I wanna be here. I wanna
You're
be here
Urbana
for-
White.
yeah.
Doing the wheel.
So being
Okay, so
selfish, but
2
giving you
weeks.
another week to enter. So 2 weeks, 2 more weeks to enter the drawing, and we'll do
Yes.
that.
What's the question for the week?
Question for the week is, how are you seeing things differently? How are you looking at that and changing your perspective? Hearing other people's opinions and just listening. How is that changing your worldview? So tell us about that. Share, subscribe on YouTube. We are trying to
Yes.
build our YouTube followers, and I've had some people ask me, like, how do you do that? All you do is go to our YouTube link. You're probably watching that now. There's a little red button that says subscribe. You don't need to put in any information. You just subscribe, and you'll get like a little notice when we do when we post another. So subscribe to the YouTube and post on social media. Share if this is blessing you, and then we will see you guys next Wednesday for some news.
Yeah.
So
Bye.
until
Bye,